This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go over some kind of a scalping techniques here. So whether if you scalp trades, or you swing trades, or you just say I'm buying hold or buying short, this might be a different option for you. Okay, so basically here, and I'm going to pull up a pile of charts here for you today so you get a better idea. But this is a good one right here, scalping, where you can see where a trade comes down, where you never want to buy it right there. You always want to have it go up here to a resistant level, and then you buy it down on the second pullback if it's a higher low. Okay, and then where you sell it is, you always watch to the left of your chart. Okay, so if it breaks out that medium line there, then she has a good way of rallying right on up here, and that is how you scalp. Okay, so you never really buy here. Okay, you always buy on the pullback here, and then you let it run. Now, again, if it pulls back here, that's where you sell. If not, you just let that bad boy run. All right, let's take a look at some charts here. Okay, here we have a daily chart here of natural gas. Before we get started, I got to read this. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Daily chart right here. Now, what we want to do is we always want to look to the left. Now, look at this candle here. Okay, today a low here was 2.694, and right here, what is the low? Is at 2.68, 2.68, and then the closing number on this is 2.68. So we know that that is going to be your support levels. Very, very key. Now, and it's holding this 8 SMA here. That is also very key level. So what you want to do is, like what I did is I waited until this held it. It put in a higher low. That's when I went long the UNG. So I got in at UNG here. I'm in at that 554 it is. And right now it's 574. So there's 20 cents there. Now, when I bought UNG, held it over the weekend, and I sold it out first thing this morning because didn't know where this candle was going to go. So I made 12 cents on that. That was good, but I was trading 10,000 shares. Now with this UNG, I got the other 10,000 back on here at 5.54 here. So that's looking pretty good. So this is just a daily chart. So what we're going to do now is let's look at a series of a tick chart, a 1, a 5, and a 15-minute chart. Here we have your tick chart. Okay, you have a 15-minute, a 5 minutes, and a 1-minute chart. Now, how you trade this is basically, I can show you on different levels. So as this price here comes down, you can see how this hit this overnight at the 2.96, and it came all the way down here. This is that basically that 2.694 level. Now, you don't buy that right there because you don't know if that's going to come right back down, keep right on going, or not. What you do is you just let it ride, and you don't get excited to say, oh, I missed the trade, because you watch that key 21 day. Then you can see where it did not, couldn't get through, and it came down. This is where you take the trade, okay? So what you have here is you had the 2.71. You had that low of that 2.69, and this is a higher low. This is where you take the trade, and then what you do is you watch that 200 day here, and again, and then you watch the top of that candle there at the 2.77. If you can break through, you just leave the trade right on. And if you can't get through here, then you just take your trade off and you take whatever you can get. If you're trading large shares, like say 10, 20,000 shares, you don't need much. If you take 5 cents or whatever. But if you miss a little bit, you can always get back in. Now, when you look at the 15-minute, it's a little bit more clear here. If you want to stretch the trade out a little bit, say, geez, I don't want to trade that fast, then you can do wait for this heat. So it came all the way down here. There's that 2.69. Then it rallied up here, and then it came right down to this candle here. There's that 2.71. A nice higher low. That's where you want to take the trade, and then we have this nice good rally up here. Now, as long as it holds all this key support, you can leave that trade on. But then what I start doing is then I start putting in stop losses here, okay? So right now I got a stop loss in at 570. So if it does hit that, well, from 5.54, then I just take my profit. That's 16 cents. I'll take that profit on 10,000 shares, but I already made the 12 cents. So, you know, it just adds up there per day. So when we look here, like at a 5-minute chart, it's all the same kind of thing. It just depends on how fast that you want to trade or are eligible to trade, you know. And then we have that higher low. Always wait for that higher that higher low here, because a lot of times when it comes rally up, that might not get a higher low. It can just flat right back on down again. So you wait for the higher low, wait for the green candle, and then she's rally up nice here. Now, like on a 1 minute chart, this is pretty fast here, where you have this. And see, what you got here is you have a really nice series of higher lows. So what you got there is you have 2.69. Then we have here, okay, you got that 2.71. And then we come up to this candle right here, you got 2.72. See that nice higher lows? That says that that's very, very bullish. And then it runs all the way on up. Now, as this goes up here, you can see where you're topping out here. So you have like a 2.82, and then we have a 2.83. Now, again, you have like a double top here, and then it came down. But as it came down, you put in a higher low against this low. So you can either leave that trade on here or wait for it to rally up here to see if it's going to break on out. Now, let's take a look here at an hourly and a 4-hour chart. Okay, so if you want to slow your trade down here, this is a good way to do it. So here we put in that nice low here, okay? So this is that 268 there. That was from Friday. Now, it rallied all the way on up here, but now when you see this candle here at that 2.69 here, this would be a longer term kind of a trade. So you can trade against that. But when you have that higher low situation, that is a really nice double bottom. And now she's rallying up. Now, the key to this here is going to be a close above this here, this 2.839. That is going to be your 21 SMA. But you need to hold this 50-day here and this 8 SMA here. So if you want to say, I want to take the trade and said I'm going to scalp it here every 5 minutes or 2 minutes or hourly or whatever, this is an easier way to say, I'm going to wait for it to come down here. It rallied up here. I'm going to wait for this pullback here. Okay, and long as it is a higher low here, I can take that trade and then she's going to rally up nice. So even like when you look on a 4-hour chart here, you had some really good sideways action here. So when it gets up to these tops here and you get a double top like that, that tells me that you got to sell that and then she's going to come down. But you notice that it's making a nice higher low here. So as this is going up here, you can scalp this the whole way. Now, as this got tighter, this here becomes very, very difficult because it's hard. You're doing more of a guessing versus a trading. You want a scenario like what you have right here, okay? So what you have here on this chart here is you have 2.67 here. It came down, okay, but you notice that it held this key 21 SMA here and then put it in a higher high. And then we trade against that. And you see where it popped right on up. And then, okay, it came down. But then it rallied up very, very nicely here. So now we have to see if this is going to be able to retest that 2.96 here and go higher, or is it going to be another top situation? Okay, so that's basically how you scalp trades. You always never want to get in on that first pullback. You want to wait, and you have to be very patient. Let it run up. You're not going to miss nothing. If it comes down and puts in a higher low, that is the time, like you have right here, okay, that is the time where you want to start getting long then. And then again, once you start breaking above, you can always add to your positions, okay? Just for example, say you're even trading like 1,000 shares. Okay, you can buy 250 down here. And as this is going up here, once it closes up here, you can buy another 250 and then maybe another 250. And if it closes above this 21 day, then you can buy another 2. So you can stagger that in there. You don't always have to buy the whole 9 yards here, but you also want to use stops. So when you have this area here, just figure out what kind of percentage that you can afford to lose. If it's 1% or 2% or whatever, some guys put 10% stops in there. But you always want to put your stop here at this low here, or just below it here, because if this comes crashing down here, it's going to blow right through that and come right down to this 2.52. So don't be afraid to lose stops. Now, again, I don't never preach losing money. I don't want anybody to lose money. But, this is trading. You are going to lose money eventually here on certain trades. The key is to make a lot more than what you ever lose here. But don't get too excited. Just tighten your stops up here, whatever you can afford, to lose. But that's all part of trading. If somebody ever tells you, oh, I trade and I never lose money, they are just totally full of shit. It just does not work like that, okay? Trading, you're gonna lose a little bit here, but the key is you want to gain more than what you lose. Some days you just don't have, you don't have the good day. Now, again, if you start saying, I'm going to lose it here, lose it, just step back, stop the trading, step back and regroup on what you want to do, okay? But always look for that higher low and take the scalp. Now, again, don't be afraid to take money off the table. Okay, as this thing is working on up here, say, wow, this is a good trade here. And if it goes higher, so what? You've already made the money. That is going to be the key. So I hope this kind of helps you out here with the scalping situation here. It's kind of really hard to really show on the charts here, but I hope this gives you a little bit better idea. All right, that's what I got for you today. Thanks for watching.